You're watching Cars.tv.
We do receive a lot of inquiries from customers that have 300 SLs. Often it's not necessarily always a full restoration request. Many times it's a request where they just bought the car and there are a number of things wrong with the car. Either the car doesn't drive right, it doesn't look right, it's not accurate in some way. They bring the cars to us so that we can review them for their authenticity. In other words, all the numbers on the car, whether or not they match the original specification for the car, and then any corrective sort of work. So it can be anything from tuning the car to taking the car completely apart down to its frame and completely rebuilding the car. In this room, we have a number of cars that are for sale or purely display cars. So some of the interesting cars are the 300 SLR from 1955. It's a Grand Prix car on loan from our collection in Germany. A Sterling Moss McLaren SLR, a 3.5 Cabriolet, a very interesting car in that it's a car that we frequently work on. That particular car is an unrestored car, so it's very rare to receive a car that has never been touched, that is 40, 50 years old, quite amazing. And then some kind of normal cars too, a lot of 380 SLs, 450 SLs, 560 SLs. These are cars that people typically have an interest in at the lower end of the market for starting collectors. And then the high-end cars, the 300 SLs. Two of the white cars here, these are cars that we restored. One of them we have sold and the other car is for sale. So we use this room kind of as a multi-purpose room between historical display and cars that are for sale. I'm standing in front of a 1955 300 SL Coupe, commonly known as the Gullwing. The Gullwing name actually was never official for Mercedes-Benz, but the car became known as the Gullwing for its iconic doors that open up like the wings of a bird. The car is a rare car. 1,400 of these were made between 1954 and 1957. This particular car is a car that we restored on behalf of a client. We bought the car originally as a red car, but we found out that the car was not born as a red car, it was born as a white car. And this particular client has only white cars. So we restored it back to its original condition, white with a red leather interior. 29 of the Gullwings were all aluminum, extremely valuable, but this is more or less a standard car in 55. Driving a 300 SL is remarkably easy. If you take the car to its limits, you have to know what you're doing because the car has a swing axle design. So it's a little bit counterintuitive. If you drive too fast into a corner and you feel the car getting a little bit loose, the way to fix that is to step on the gas, not to let off the gas. But if you're driving the car normal, it's really an all-around car, very much like the DNA that you see in our later cars, AMG cars, cars that can perform at the limit, but cars also that drive quite normally in normal traffic. The 300 SL is remarkably robust, but certain things have to be done. We often encounter cars where brakes have to be rebuilt, tires are often not replaced in a timely manner. So we see quite a few cars here that often bought at auction that haven't had their regular maintenance done. Overall, they're pretty robust though, and they don't need a lot of attention, but typical things for a car that doesn't get used a lot. Fuel tanks have to be cleaned, injection systems serviced, but not really too much. We're here in our workshop where we perform a lot of the mechanical repairs that are part of a restoration. Also in this workshop are various different separated areas, including a metal shop, an upholstery area, special tool room, a machining room, all of the things that we need to perform a full restoration. When we designed this facility, it was very important that we had a certain level of efficiency in the restoration process. So we made sure that all the things that we need are close by, easy to access, easy to work with. My favorite room is the actual workshop because the first reaction most people have is, my God, it's really clean. And we're very meticulous about that. We came out of an environment where it was difficult to keep it clean. And here in designing the new environment, we're very careful about keeping it clean. It gives us a really great first impression of the care that we take in restoration too. I'm a firm believer every workshop needs to have a shop dog. Otto, his dad, if you will, is our workshop manager. And Otto we've had since he's been about 6 weeks old. It's kind of funny, in the corporate world, it's not easy to get something like that done. took a lot of work to get the approval to have that. But it's an easy decision from the employee perspective. You know, he's we call him the chief happiness officer. So if you have something stressful going on, you know, grab the dog for a few minutes and you're fine. So he's cool to have here. He's very used to the environment, and we love having him. As you talk to a younger generation, it's important to talk about what were the first. You know, a lot of people don't know that we are considered to be the inventor of the automobile, right? A lot of people don't know that. A lot of people don't know a lot of the technological innovations that you see on cars today had their debuted on a Mercedes Benz car, things that are common today in every car. So, you know, it's important to tell that story of first, you know, where we still lead the pack.